Josh, good to see you. I'm glad we have time to talk today because I wanted to talk through all of these topics because it kind of goes against conventional wisdom for me. So, we're going to talk through 6 moments to move your money because there are times when moving your money isn't just a good idea, it's necessary. Figuring out when can help you protect your investments, reduce your taxes, and stay aligned with your long term goals. So, first, we do have Roth conversions. So, when does it make sense to move money from a traditional to a Roth IRA?
Well, really, as soon as possible is the answer because you want to get those gains tax free versus
Mm,
tax deferred. Now, for most people, it's once you turn 59 and a half is when it makes the most sense because
mhm.
that's when you're eligible to really touch those 401ks and IRAs and such. But Roth conversions, the sooner you do it, the more time you have to earn the interest tax free.
hmm And doing it now, of course, while taxes are historically low.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. And next, we have a big milestone for retirement accounts. That's 59 and a half. You just mentioned that. What is the significance of that age and what is an in service distribution?
So 59 and a half is the age in which you're allowed to move your 401k or IRAs or take withdrawals without incurring a 10% IRS
Okay.
tax penalty.
hmm
So if you're at your current job and you've reached 59 and a half or older, you can do what's called an in-service distribution, which means you can roll money out of your current employer's 401k over to an IRA for the purpose of doing more planning. 401ks are designed with not a lot of options and to be simple just because it's easier for the employer, it's easier for the employee, they're simple to set up, but they provide not a lot of investment options
Right.
and more importantly, not a lot of investment help.
hmm
So at 59 and a half, you can start planning for retirement, get more help, get more options, and really take control. Because when it's in your 401k, you have very little control. You have, maybe 20 options
Right.
and very,
Right.
very little help. So rolling it out is what allows you to have control and be able to do whatever it is you want to do and get more specific about your preparation for retirement.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's okay to sock all your money away in that 401k when we're young because all we need to do is save.
Right.
And next, we should talk about changing jobs. So, what should people do with their old 401ks when they have when they're leaving that job?
Kind of a rule of thumb is if you don't work there anymore, you probably shouldn't leave your money there.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, especially in these younger generations, is the older generations, they worked one job forever and then
Right.
they retired.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Now people are running 5, 6, 7 jobs over their lifetime, which
hmm
means 5, 6, 7 401ks. And then what happens is your right hand doesn't know what your left hand's doing because you have all these accounts that nobody's really paying attention to, and they're
hmm
probably getting a lot of overlap trying to do the same jobs, or not getting investment management and not being adjusted for your new risk tolerance, your time horizon, stuff like
hmm
that.
hmm
So one of the worst things you can do is leave money at an old job. So you can roll it to a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA outside, self-manage, get a financial planner, or roll it to your current job. Just makes your life simpler to have that all in one place.
Yeah. And I mean, there are people out there who forget about their old 401ks too, which would be the worst of the worst.
All the time. I hear it all the time. People are like, oh,
Yeah.
I think I have money at that job I worked at 20 years ago.
Whew. Keep track of that money. Okay. Next, another sign it might be time to make a move would be, of course, high fees. But how can someone figure out if they're paying too much?
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of times fees are hidden, and you have to read those prospectuses you get in the mail that look like a magazine. Nobody wants to read those, but that's where the fees are hidden inside of those, or on your statement, or in your 401k. They'll have the fees and stuff in there, and you got to go looking for them. But it's
hmm
very important to know what you're paying and really what you're getting for those fees.
Yeah.
So if you're getting help and you're getting support and planning and whatnot, you're going to expect to pay a little bit more in fees. But if you're not getting any help and no support and no reviews, and then your fees should be a little bit of nothing because you're not getting any help. It's
Sure.
kind of like mowing your grass. The cheapest way to mow your grass is to mow it yourself. But if you don't want to mow it yourself, or you don't know how to mow it yourself, you're probably going to have to pay somebody to mow it. And
Hmm.
it's a little bit more expensive than mowing it yourself.
Hmm. I purposely do a bad job mowing so that I'm not asked to do it anymore.
Is that a wife thing?
Is that what Natalie does too?
Maybe.
Yeah.
She
It's a
used to.
strategy,
She
Josh.
actually likes mowing the grass now. So
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm not there yet. Okay. Next, of course, at what point should somebody consider moving their money if their investments are underperforming?
yeah, and underperforming is a relative term. Unfortunately, there's no line in the sand where it's risk appropriate, right?
Hmm.
Depending on your risk tolerance, should be how much you perform, and year to year the markets perform differently. So, but if you feel like it's not growing, I hear it from people all the time. Like, I've had this account for 20 years and it stopped growing when I stopped putting money into it. Well, that's a telltale sign that it's not working for you.
Right.
But really, you need to have that account evaluated to see your risk versus reward payoff, and see if you're getting the right amount of reward for the level of risk you're taking.
Hmm.
And that's crucial to know. If sometimes you're taking a ton of risk and getting very little reward, and
Hmm.
that's obviously not a good thing.
Right. But as we were talking about offline, even just earning 5% a year isn't necessarily great because that's barely keeping up with inflation.
Right. And now if you're an ultra conservative person, 5% a year might be appropriate. But if you're an aggressive person, definitely not appropriate.
Hmm.
And so that's why you need to understand the relationship between risk and return,
Hmm.
and know how much risk you're taking and how much return you're getting. And then you can adequately evaluate if you're making a proper return for the
Hmm.
level of risk.
And now, what if someone's time horizon has changed? Maybe they're retiring sooner than expected. How should their investment approach shift?
Yeah, the closer you get to retirement, more than likely, the less risk you should be taking in your plan. Um, and then that's because we're transitioning from money that has long time to recover in the event that the market has a downturn, to money that you're going to be using relatively soon, right? But it's also probably not a bad idea to have your money segmented a little bit, the old bucket approach, where you have some long-term money that is taking a little bit more risk, and your short-term money taking a little bit less risk, right? But that's where a full plan comes into play, so the right money is doing the right job, for the right purpose.
Right. Well, it's good to talk this through because, like I said, I feel like the traditional advice is, oh, leave your money alone, don't move it around. But clearly, there are some moments when that makes sense. So, if somebody wants to talk to you to figure out if their fees are too high or if their funds are underperforming, Josh, what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, they can call us at the office at 260-488-8300, or they can jump on the website and schedule a meeting at millardfg.com.
Great. Josh, thank you.
Thanks, Erin.